All right. Here we go. 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm actually on time today. Usually about a couple minutes behind. So as you guys come in, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, but definitely hit that like button. I got to move this lamp. This light's a little bit too close to my face. Give me a sec. That's probably a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Now it doesn't look like the sun is bearing down on my head. All right, guys. So everybody can hear me okay? I know you guys know I've been working on sound issues. I believe I have this mic working at least the way that it should be, even though it's not the highest quality mic. All right. So free agency lasted about a half a second. I mean, literally all we did was a couple of our own players, and that was it. Not a complaint. No real big complaint there. But if you guys are chatting, I'm not seeing anything. I hope I don't have to exit out and come back in again. That would be lousy. Dang it. I don't know why this happens to me. Every once in a while, the chat doesn't work. I haven't even done that many live streams. I've maybe done 40 live streams, and this is about the fourth or fifth time where the chat is just not working. So if there's somebody here, say something. I see that I got people here. So for whatever reason, the chat is not showing up right. Let me see if I can get this fixed without having to. All right, so I've got the pop out chat working. That's working for me, so that's okay. Now, is that blocking the view for you guys? Because it blocks the view for me. But can you guys see me okay? Hey, this is a lot. I got Logan, I got Anthony, Ollie, Hockey, Snipe Show, Mike's here. We got a lot of new people. This is great. I appreciate that. So now this is the first time I've used the pop-out chat. So you guys can see me okay, or am I being blocked by the chat? Okay, great. Thanks, man. It's weird. Sometimes the chat here on the right-hand side won't work. And this is the first time I've tried the pop-out chat like that. So now I wonder if I can move this. No, I can't move it out of my way. If I hide it, then it's really gone. So that was stupid. Now let me see if I can find it again. All right. Yeah. All right. Great. All right. So it is what it is. I can't see me, but that's okay. I don't need to see me. I look at me all day long. Lots of new people coming into the chat. This is great. All right. So later on this week, I'm going to be doing a video. I think Stu and I are going to be doing it together, where we're going to have a lot of people, anybody who wants to send us their lineup, like do the lines on Cap Friendly, and then we'll go over them one by one. Anthony, do I think the Panthers make another big time trade? No, man, I think we're done. Absolutely, I think we're just totally done. The only thing that surprised me about this offseason, obviously, was I didn't think Montour would be the guy. That's basically the only thing that really surprised me. I kept pounding it in the weeks before, everything with the free agency and the draft. I kept saying, addition by subtraction. And that's basically what we did, right? Was we subtracted. Obviously, Reinhardt's an addition, but defensively, basically, it's the same guys, just minus Yandel and Strowman. So, I think we got to get Reinhardt signed, we got to get Barkov signed, and I think I have a feeling, with the Montour signing, I wasn't really, like I said, I was surprised. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to just give him an opportunity. Be on that bottom pair, I would assume. And if he's not the guy, if it turns out where he, can't play at the level we need him to, I think we'll have room to be able to go out and get a top 4 guy around the trade deadline. All right, let's see. Lots of new people, man. Lewis is here. This is interesting. Everybody here is new. This is outstanding. Dwayne, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Outstanding. Go Leafs, go. They made some good signings. Hopefully you can win around. Yeah, man, I would love to see a Panthers Leafs playoff series, because then I'm assuming at that point Steve Dangle would answer my DMs and we could do a collaboration. That I would really enjoy doing that. And obviously it'd be big for the channel to be able to do something with that. John Shovelbay, can we please hurry up with the Reinhart signing? Yeah, I saw a thing a couple days ago that came out, said it looks like it's going to be between 6 and 7 million. I've been saying that Zito's been handing out that extra $500,000 on each contract. It seems like he's handing it out like he's not planning on paying $10 million for a goaltender for very long. And whether or not that's actually, well, obviously we know Bob's not going anywhere, at least for a couple of years. I even put my own moratorium on talking about that. But in terms of Reinhart, I was hoping maybe for 4 times 6, but from the sound of it, probably going to be closer to 6.5, 6 3/4. And all that starts to add up. I mean, I know it's going to get done. He's not going anywhere. I can't imagine what the holdup is unless they're doing as I suggested, which is to get everybody in the room to talk about what their price is, because we do have to have room later on for Huberto. So you kind of want to know up front where his mind is at. Ollie, I personally think the Panthers might sign one more depth forward. We saw it last year when they signed Brian Ball. I don't know, man. We've got right now we have so many kids. There's no room. There's no room for anybody. So on one hand, I can hear what you're saying, but where would they play? When Stu and I talked to all 3 guys, George, Randy, and Billy, they all felt like part of the locker room glue was Hornquist. So he's not going anywhere. Not that I want him to, but you look at that 4th line, the way that the team is, lined up right now. There's room for Lundell, and that's it. So I don't know where a depth guy would go unless it's just a veteran guy to be on the bench. But then at that point, I mean, we're already basically blocking Danisenko, Heponiemi, a few other guys. We've just got so many guys. All right, let's see. I saw somebody. Barkov needs. Yeah, I think Barkov's last. Hockey Snipe. I agree with that. Barkov's just going to be last. I said on Twitter, I mean, I'm just guessing, but my thought process was maybe he simply said, look, I want to win a cup. I'm not going anywhere. You guys go sign who you're going to sign. And, whatever money's left over, we'll make it work on my end. I'm full on conjecture there, but he's not going anywhere. Huberto's the only one in question really long term on whether or not we're going to be able to pay him. So Flo, thanks for coming out. Cut Tippett. Hockey Snipe. That's SoFlo's only he's just trolling me. Tippett is the guy who I have a little bit of a man crush on. Tippett. I bitched and complained all season long for Q to put him in the top 6 with consistent line mates, and finally coach listened, and then you see what happened. Anthony, am I surprised during the draft instead of trying to trade for Reinhart, we didn't go after Patrick Laine? No. I'm going to tell you, when I was doing doing a little bit of research for yesterday's video, and one thing that came up, now I don't know what Laine's penalty minutes are, but one thing that I noticed with Reinhart is he takes penalties almost at the same exact clip as Barkov, which is basically none. So I have a feeling that played into things, especially since with Bennett, We know he's going to be a guy who's going to play on that edge, and we may see a few extra penalties that way. So I have a feeling, like, again, I haven't looked at Lane's penalty minutes. So if somebody want to look that up, they could. But I have a feeling that part of the consideration for Reinhart was a guy that was going to stay out of the box. That's just my thought there. Anthony, I think we cut Hornquist and Bertrando to make room for Lundell. No, we have room for Lundell. That's Wenberg signed with Seattle for $4.5 million, which I didn't see that coming. I'm not a huge Wenberg fan. Everybody, I see media, I see other people who say he had a great year. I don't know. I don't dislike the guy. I'm not a huge fan, but we have room for Lundell. We have room for all those guys on the team right now. Lundell will be the center of that third line. Toronto's on the other wing. Heponiemi, Heponiemi and Danisenko especially, unless those guys are going to be on the fourth line, unless Hornquist is going to be in the fourth line, those guys will be riding the bench. So, but hey, buddy, how you doing? I appreciate that, man. How you coming? I'm glad that you came out. Anthony, yeah, Danisenko. I believe he is next man up. He is next man up. And don't forget, that's right, Lamico, too. We've got so many of these guys that deserve a chance, but we don't have room for, Tim Black, thanks for coming out, bud. Have I gone back and looked at the type of goals Reinhart scores? He's excellent with deflections and quick and hard wristers. Should complement Barkov and Verhaeghe. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. No, I hadn't gone back and looked back. I'm going to do that Bob video this week. The video where I go back and look at Bob's play in the past versus now. I'm going to do that video this week now that there's, everything is kind of calmed down and there's not news every day. But right with the, yeah, but I'll take your word for it. I haven't heard great things about Lane. But yeah, we don't need another Trocheck anyway there. Hockey Snipe, in your opinion, Reinhart has an underrated shot. He mostly tips shots and gets rebounds. But when he shoots, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, like Bud said, was it Bud? No, it was Tim. Tim said, that sounds like it's going to be a perfect fit, right? And maybe it will. Maybe the good news here is maybe that will get Barkov to become a little bit more of a shoot first guy, because he's going to have a guy that will, come through on the deflections there. I know, Hornquist, that's his game too, but that didn't work out so well last year in the terms of there was so many times on the power play, Hornquist would be in the front making a mess and nobody would shoot the puck. So anything that encourages Barkov to shoot first, I'm all for it. All right, let's see here, man. Saran Noel will be our Marchand guy. Lewis, yeah, that's another guy. That's another guy that I want to see, man. The dude is 6'6", I believe. I want to see him on the ice in the Panther jersey so bad. Anybody know when they announce who's invited to camp? Tisaga, I'm here. The party is over. That's beautiful. The party is over. So, that's funny. That's good stuff there. All right. Thanks for coming out, though, bud. I appreciate that. So Lane had 25 penalty minutes, so he's not a big penalty guy either. All right, well, scratch that. Maybe it was money. I mean, what is Lane looking at? Is he more than Reinhart? Anthony, my comparison for Gregory is Dvorak or Fedorov. Kopitar for Lundell, yeah. Yeah, those are all. I love Radek Dvorak, man. He was such an underrated player. That's a name from the past. I haven't heard that one in a while. I love that kid, man. He was so fast, and he was just exciting to watch. Kind of reminds me of like Jared McCann. Obviously, I feel like Dvorak was better, but in terms of when he got the puck, he just made something happen. You know what I mean? Crew Eric, thanks for coming out. You're hoping we get some defense. I think we're done, bro. I think we're done right now. I think what we're going to end up doing is letting the guys that we have play out, and then if need be, come trade deadline, that's what we'd be doing. Is we would be going and getting ourselves, a top 4 defenseman. That's my opinion. I think they looked around and they saw some of the contracts that were getting handed out, and I feel like they kind of wanted to give Montour another shot and keep as many of the guys together from last year as possible. And then, that's not such a heavy contract that if we go out and get somebody else, it's a movable contract. With Montour, it's an amount of money where if he has to sit, it's not like having a $10 million backup goalie. So I think that's the route that we went there. But Josh, don't worry about the Hubie extension. Yeah, I agree. We're gonna lose Hornquist's money then, and I think that's what they're looking at. All right, so Bud, Lane's contract is 7.5, so it could end up being a whole $1 million more than Reinhart. So yeah, man, Jared McCann is a Maple Leaf legend. That poor kid. That trade is cursed. Okay. I started this channel when we traded Gabranson, and who did we get for Gabranson? And both of those kids, Gabranson and McCann, have just been ping-ponged all over the place. And Gabranson's had opportunities to become the player that he was supposed to be, and he's not. McCann, I feel like every time he gets an opportunity and starts to show good, he gets tossed aside for whatever reason. If you heard that, that's Karen sneezing in the other room. Andrew, thanks for coming out, but not a hockey question. But what's my dream Super Bowl matchup location? Oh, and mine's Fins versus Bucks in Jacksonville. Get all 3 NFL. Is Jacksonville still considered an NFL city? I'm just trolling. I never was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan because I lived in Central Florida when they came into existence. And Central Florida was always Miami Dolphins country, like the Space Coast and Melbourne and everything. It was always Miami Dolphins country. And when Jacksonville came into being, they stopped showing the Dolphin games and instead started to show the Jaguars games. So, and my chat just disappeared. In the middle of doing that with you guys, my chat just absolutely disappeared here. Guys, bear with me a second here. Okay, here we go. My laptop has been absolutely acting up here, man. Hey, I have a question for you guys. Because I've got this chat operating in a manner in which I've not used before. And I'm not seeing where you guys have a super chat option. Do you guys see the option to send super chat? I'm just curious about that because I'm not seeing a little $sign here, and I know I monetized the video. And I'm going to sue YouTube for the $10 I would have made. All right, let's see here. Bud, would I be interested in Chara? No, man. I'm good with our defense. I really am. Give them a chance to play this way, and then we'll see if we need somebody at the break. Andrew, sorry about that. I got distracted. My dream Super Bowl matchup would definitely be Dolphins versus Tampa. I'm going to agree with you there because I want to see us end Tom Brady. But the location, my dream location actually would be Baltimore, so I could go to the game. So I could just drive to the game. So that's a little bit different there. But yeah, Fins versus Bucks would be sweet. Yeah, Anthony, the problem with Dvorak was when he played with me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was overlooked. A very underrated player. Absolutely, man. Tyler, thanks for coming out, bud. We see red. I like that. Tim, you say you're perfectly fine with all the contracts Ito's giving out. Yeah, I agree. They're all movable, man. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Mr. Vince, thank you. I appreciate that, man, because I don't have it here. So that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate that. This laptop, I gotta take my laptop in. There's a guy in town and get the keyboard either replaced or cleaned because I eat a lot with the thing and there's crumbs all over the place. So sometimes this thing will just start flipping through pages and playing videos on its own. So I got to get that fixed. Dominic, you love the Jaw shirts. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm excited about both too. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I haven't really been keeping up with the football. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a heads up here. There goes the damn chat disappearing on me again. It just keeps hiding the window on me for some reason. In terms of football, guys, let me just give you guys a little heads up. I'm still going to be doing the Dolphins recaps, and I'm still going to be doing maybe like a Sunday or a Monday Night Football recaps of the games. But I don't think I'm going to continue to do like camp updates and little news updates unless something big happens. And here's why. There's a couple reasons. First of all, the views on those videos do horrible. Now, that's okay. I understand it takes a while to build up the audience because I've been hockey exclusive. But the problem is that I don't want the algorithm seeing that, I get 400, I get 400 views, 300 views, and then 50. And then the algorithm doesn't show the hockey videos because the football ones are doing so bad. So that's reason number one. And reason number two, the week that I did both mentally, like focusing on hockey 3/4 of the day and then trying to like catch up on what happened in football and made a video is tough. I'm not going to lie. It's tough. And so I'm thinking that what I'd rather do is spend that extra time learning more about the other NHL teams so I can become more of an NHL channel. I mean, I'll always do my Panther stuff, but I think it would serve me better to become more knowledgeable about the NHL in general and the players and everything else with the other teams rather than focusing on just like Dolphins training camp updates and stuff like that. So that said, I'm still going to do the Dolphins recaps. And like if it's a Monday night, Sunday night football game, I still will do recaps for that. But in terms of the little videos, I think I'm going to kind of pivot and focus more on hockey stuff. Let's see. Can you ask? You can't ask a question. You have to say that foolishness for hashtag Ask Jaws. And there goes my chat again. Boy, I'm going to if I pick up this laptop, and if the stream suddenly ends, it's because I picked up this laptop and threw it. All right, let me catch up here on the chat. All right, let's see. I'm going to start at the bottom here, guys. So if I missed a few, I apologize. And here comes Fluffy. All right, Ollie Panthers, I hope cannot. Yeah, you guys can see him. There he is, right there in the corner. I hope Connaughton gets about 25 to 30 games because you love his physical play. Connaughton and Gudis. I agree with you, man. I was so disappointed during the playoffs when Bennett got suspended and we were benching Yandel in the separate games and Connaughton didn't get a chance. They put in, I think it was Nutavara instead, and he didn't play so well. And I would have loved to see Connaughton get a chance in the playoffs. So I'll agree with you there. I'm going upwards this way. Brandon, thanks for coming out. How much space do we have left? Well, we've got space, but we have to sign Reinhart and Barkov. After that, I don't know how much we're going to have. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot left. I don't think there's room for too much else without moving somebody. But I'd have to look. But I haven't really paid too close attention to what we've got left because until – we can only guess at what Barkov's going to get. I mean, 8, 9, 10. Zito could surprise us all and give the man 11. You know what I mean? We really don't know. Mr. Vids, only downside about laptops is if a piece is broken internally. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's a good laptop. I'm happy with it. It's crumbs all over the place. I got a guy in town that fixes his computer, or for $100, he could put in a brand new keyboard. I might just go that route. Bud the monkey. Boomer getting distracted. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Deepak Baines, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate that. A Panther fan in Vancouver. That's gotta be cold and lonely, man, come January, right? I used to live in Alaska, so I know about the cold, but believe me, I do. Crazy Kurt, that's a new name. Thanks for coming out, bud. Do I think Zito will be able to get? No. Crazy. What I've talked about here is 2 years. There's no sense at all for anybody to think that Bob is going to go anywhere for 2 more seasons. So this one and the next one. Couple of reasons for that. First of all, even if we're going to find a team to move him to and eat half the salary, we have to wait till that Yandel and the Hornquist cap hits are off. And the second reason is as much as we all love Knight, and we're pretty sure he is what we think he's going to be, he's also just 20, and we can't just throw him out there for 50, 60 games. So if you look at what Vasilevsky did in Tampa, he had a couple of years here where he was basically splitting, and I think that's the situation we're looking at. So for myself, I've put a 2-year moratorium on. I'm not even going to think about Bob is going anywhere for 2 off seasons. After that, then it's possible we might have the space to be able to split his contract with somebody else, but he'd have to waive. We have to find a trade partner, and we have to be 100% certain that that Knight is ready and he's the guy. And Anthony, yeah, I answered that question. There's 2 questions in a row. So, yeah, it's the same thing, right? All right, let's see. Mr. Vids. Yeah, Fluffy's here. Yeah, man. Ryan Allen, thanks for coming out. Oh, dude, man. All right. It took me a second to read what you said because I don't do baseball at all. But if you make $425, that's good. I understand money. And I know the teams. I mean, I used to follow baseball. Stop following baseball when the Marlins wheeled Muhammad Ali out there, a shaking mess onto the field. And that's when I stopped following the Marlins. I pay attention. I watch the standings. I see when everybody gets excited. And I would probably jump on the bandwagon if they made the World Series. But I'm not a huge baseball fan. It's hard for me to be a huge baseball fan after I'd rather just have year-round hockey. You know what I mean? Autistica, aside from you, who's the next celebrity we plan on having on? I cannot tell you because Stu is very, very close to the vest with who it might be. But what I can say is that there's definitely a couple people that have been requested that we're working on. We're definitely, cross fingers, knock on wood, we're definitely working on a player. I would say right now we're at about an 80% chance that before the season starts, we're going to be able to get a player. And once that happens, then it'll be a little bit easier to get guys on. You know what I mean? It's like once Billy heard that Randy and George did it, he's like, all right, sure. So the only thing I have to do is make sure that I'm, mind my P's and Q's, because like now the director of a few of the Panther people, I forget what her title is, but the lady that handles if the player's media, right? So if you want to have a player on, this is the woman that you have to go talk to. She's following me on Twitter now. So I have to be, I have to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? I have to be cool. The Connaughton's 31. Yeah, I had a feeling he was a little bit older. I mean, I know he's not going to change into being a great defenseman, but I think in the playoffs, just a solid, steady veteran presence, because those kids were running no heads without Ekblad out there. Hockey Snipe, your opinion versus Lightning series. The Panthers played better 5-on-5. Lightning had a better pass. Yeah, goaltending, absolutely. Look, Billy Lindsay said it perfectly in the interview. You're not going to win a cup by playing 3 goaltenders in a series. That's his words. You have to find the guy that's going to do the job for you and write it out. And to me, I believe regardless of the contracts, I believe that that's what the regular season is going to be for Q. He's going to determine which goaltender is the playoff goaltender and ride him. That's my belief. All right, let's see. Andrew, you want to see Gudas fight Jake Paul? Gudas didn't do a whole lot of fighting last year. I mean, he did do a few, but his game was more of the hits than the fights. I actually prefer that because obviously with the fight, you take a bigger chance on getting that instigator, where with the hits, he didn't get called too many times. For a guy that plays a physical game, he manages to play right under the line. All right, let's see. Dominic, thanks for coming out. You love a young defenseman trade like Chavez. Well, yeah. Look, I'm happy with the guys that we got. Like I said, I was a little bit surprised by Montour. Give him a shot. Offensively, and that's the thing, is that offensively for the regular season, we're going to be scoring so many damn goals that I have a feeling our goaltending could be mediocre and we'd still be a top 3 seed. Now, that doesn't work come playoffs, obviously, but give Montour an opportunity. And if he's not the guy, and maybe he's still, we're still going to have either like a Kiersted or a Connaughton. We're still going to have a guy on the bottom there that's not a top 4 player, not Avara. So there'll be time to get somebody at the deadline if we have to. Anthony, is Zito like the GM in Tampa where he can manipulate the cap? Yeah, no, we don't have anybody hurt. That's the thing, man. I mean, not that I want anybody hurt. By the way, you guys, I'm sure you guys saw the video from yesterday where Aaron Ekblad is back on the ice. I was happy with how he looks. He looks like he's doing it smart. There was no hard cuts, and that's the thing with defensemen and those lower leg injuries. You've got to be able to turn and pivot on a dime, and it puts a lot of pressure on those lower legs. So don't be surprised the first 10, 15 games of the year he doesn't look like himself. He's got to play into it. And mentally, you can't recreate the intensity of a game in practice. I don't care how hard you go. So mentally, just getting to where he's confident that what's going to happen with his leg when he really gives it 100%, and it's going to take a month. It's going to take a month. All right, let's see. Mr. Vids, if it was up to me, would I shorten the regular season? No. If it was up to me, I would have them play 2 games a week and then 3 games a week and have it be year-round with no break. All right, they can have a 2-week break. They can have a 2-week break. If it was up to me to be 100, it would be like baseball. What do they play, 162? 100, how many games is baseball? 162? I got 82 for hockey. Was it 162 or 164? That's what I want. I want year-round hockey, man. I'm just saying, if it was up to me, then I'd get fired really quick with that idea. I know it. Tim Black, yeah, we are working on that. We are working on that. The more guys we get like George and Randy and Billy, the easier it will get to get a player. So we're definitely working on that. Anything like that would be closer to the regular season. But yeah, I've got a couple of fan interviews coming up this week. And then for those of you who are on the Patreon, since I haven't been doing as many videos over there as I prefer, as of yesterday, I've been writing articles over there. But as of yesterday, I'm starting a daily article on the Patreon so that way, during the times when I'm not doing as many videos over there, I'm still giving you guys some value for the money that I do appreciate those monthly subscriptions. Absolutely. And I'm going to have I'm going to have a membership to the YouTube channel coming up by the end of this week. I'm not double dipping. So anybody that joins the membership on YouTube gets the Patreon for free, and any Patreon members, they're going to get the membership through the YouTube channel for free. I just have to figure out the mechanism to deliver the content for free. So that's what I'm working down. Ryan Allen. Yeah, hockey number 1. NBA. The NBA is pretty low on the totem pole for me, bro, because I tell you what, if I was 8 foot tall too, I could put the ball in the basket too. You know what I mean? Raise the basket. I want to see it be a challenge. It's too easy. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Raise the basket, make it a little bit more of a challenge. If you can just jog up to the basket and put a layup in, it's too easy, right? You know, if they lowered the basket by a foot, everybody'd be Michael Jordan. I'm short. Can you tell? All right, let's see. Can I break down 4D goalie with Toronto versus Florida? Ryan, that's a subject for a video. That's a subject. I could do that in a separate video. Yeah. Which brings me to an idea. Thank you for bringing that up because when I was walking around outside thinking about content ideas for this break that we have, I was actually thinking about maybe I could go into depth into the other hockey teams, like do divisional previews by going into their roster after free agency and everything like that. So that's actually a good idea. If I looked at everybody's team and then compared it at the end of the video to the Panthers, I think that actually be a good idea for content. So that's a good idea, Ryan. Look for something like that to start, not this week, but the following week, because we've got enough time here. And I'm wanting to put out 2, maybe 3 videos a day. I'd like to be on a regular schedule, putting out the 2 videos a day and plus any breaking news, like the stuff that happened today. If you haven't watched it already, when we're done, if you guys got 20-something minutes, I did a video about the Evander Kane situation. Very personal to me because, long story short, every part of that situation I have either lived personally one way or another or helped somebody through on a professional level as a coach. So it's a different video. You guys aren't used to it from me, but it just kind of happened. It just kind of came out. The more I was reading about what was going on between him and his wife, the more I realized that I've literally lived all of those situations sometimes on both sides of the coin. So if you get a chance, check that out. But yeah, you heard Bob had a nasty groin elastic. Yeah, I know. Look, Tampa's not going to win 3 in a row. Let's just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. If the commissioner came to me and asked how I would realign the divisions, how would I do it? Well, I'm going to look, I'll say this. Do not be surprised with what we're seeing going on with the variant and all of that. I'm not going to get on a rant here. Don't be surprised to see last year's divisions put back into place, a new schedule released, and Canada playing in their own little bubble again. Don't be surprised. No, I haven't heard anything, but I do pay extraordinarily close attention to the goings on in terms of the outside world. I mean, look, full disclosure, I knew what was happening because of my business interests. I knew what was happening with the pandemic a solid 6 weeks before anybody else did. So I was completely prepared. So that's all I'll say is just don't be surprised if at the last minute the NHL has to put those old divisions back together again, full season, but and make a new schedule. Just keep that in the back of your head that's a possibility. Ollie says a lot of people want Florida, Toronto in the first round. No. I agree, Ollie. No, I disagree with you, Ollie. I'm sorry, bro. I want Florida, Toronto in the first round. So Dangle has to do the collaboration with me and we win a round. And then we could go whoop up on Tampa. Okay. I want to win a round and I want to do the collaboration with Dangle because that will exponentially grow the channel. So for selfish reasons, I want to be the cause. I want to do a collaboration video with Dangle while we beat his team and he can't get through the playoff. his team can't win around either again. You see what I'm saying? Anthony, did I actually like how they had the division set up? Let me think about that for a second. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, right? I did miss playing the Canadian teams, especially when we have that home stand around Christmas and and the stands are so full with people and everything. I did miss that a little bit. I didn't enjoy having to play Carolina so often. I'm not going to lie about that. There's pros and cons. You know what I mean? To both. I like our division. I like the Atlantic division. It's a tough division. There's no doubt about that. And in terms of on the ice hockey play, I wouldn't cry if this year's division stuck around. And like I said, don't be surprised if that happens. Autistica, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I appreciate you getting the party started there, man. Every dollar counts, and that's a true statement. So I appreciate that. But there was no comment. Usually, when somebody does a super chat, they got something like if One Bad Steve was here, he usually throws a super chat out there with something ridiculous that I am forced to say. So, but I appreciate that. Genuinely, I do. Let's see here. All right, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, Mr. Vid's not gonna win 3 in a row, right? Yeah, Mr. Vid's the COVID stuff in December 19. I was getting calls from my suppliers telling me whatever I had to do to protect my assets to do it because the party was over. So yeah. Anthony, honestly preferred how they had the division set up this year. I bet you the players, that would be the real question, is did the players enjoy it in the sense of having so much? I just saw Autistica's comment. Buy some hair. Just my whole body. Look at this. It's covered. This is where the only shortage is right in here, right there. That's the only place in my body where there's a shortage, oddly enough. All right, Ryan, let's see. Yeah. I mean, look, I would like to see Florida, Tampa, Eastern Conference Finals and let us be Darth Vader. That's what I would like. We could be Luke Skywalker vanquishing Darth Vader and just kaputs and then put the Lightning fans out of their misery and make sure they realize they're not winning 3 in a row. And then we go play Chicago in the finals after Fleury gets his revenge on the Knights. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Fleury has decided he's going to play, which is interesting. I'm a little bit – I don't know if I'm disappointed there. I wrote about this in the Patreon. I have mixed feelings because I wanted somehow for Vegas to have it stuck to him, to stick it to him for doing that. But on the other hand, I enjoy seeing Flower play, so – I guess the only option now is to have Chicago beat Vegas in the playoffs with Fleury shutting them out and the game clinching, to clinch the series. That's all we can hope for. Right. Now go buy some hair. All right, let's see. Anthony says our fan base needs to be patient because we have a ton of defensemen in the system that are still developing. That's actually, yeah, I agree with you there. We have a lot we've got so many. We got so many players. We could literally field, 2 teams practically with the forwards that we have. But the good news is, look, let's be honest. In years past, before Zito, there easily could have been a situation where we could have been counting on Giannasenko and Heponiemi. I know we're kind of counting on Lundell, but in the past, we would have been counting on guys to come in. I mean, I have my season preview from 3 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago, at least, where, I had Borgstrom penciled in at 2C because we didn't know who else to put there. You know what I mean? And we had Tippett penciled in too because we were so desperate. We didn't have the players. Now, the only thing I'll say about Lundell is that this is my guess. My guess is that if for some reason he is not, well, if he doesn't make the team, if he's not good enough or not ready, I suspect we'll see Hornquist at 3C, and then maybe Lundell on the wing to get him into the mix and get him, used to playing and everything like that. But from everything I've heard from everybody who's seen him play, I have not heard anybody say they didn't think he was ready. So we'll leave it at that, right? Autistic didn't give you the opportunity to write anything. Oh man, I appreciate that. Huh? I popped your super chat, Sherry. I appreciate that, man. Huh? All right. Well, yeah. Well, no, but I wish I could buy some hair. I used to have the shampoo, but it never worked. You know what I mean? Never worked. Mike, hey buddy, how you doing, huh? Hi, hello there from your dark. Hold on a second. That was my fault. I kicked my headphones. All right. Hello there from my dark dungeon hospital basement. So you're working on somebody's computer down there, or is it the hospital computers? Or are you sick and hiding from the nurses? Dude, man. Mike, I never seen anybody work so much, especially Sundays, man. Especially Sundays. I hope you're not a football fan. I hope you're not a huge football fan anyway. That would kind of suck. True story about football. The only year where I wasn't really able to watch a whole lot of football was this one year when I was working at a spa as a massage therapist. And this was the year that the Dolphins went 1-15. And real quick, I was in the middle of giving this massage, and I knew the Dolphin game was playing. And it was the game that we won. But the game is on, and I'm not paying any attention. In the middle of giving this massage, I got like this burst of energy. Like I was like, wow. All of a sudden, I got really happy. I had this burst of energy. So finished the massage and everything like that, and I checked the score. And wouldn't you know it, that burst of energy was me actually feeling. I know how crazy that sounds, but that burst of energy came to me at the exact time that Camarillo returned the punt for the touchdown to beat the Ravens in overtime, and that was the only game we won that year. So, yeah, I don't know why I thought about that story, but it was wicked Cocoa Puffs. It was crazy. No, you're not. Oh, you're just waiting for the next system to break. Yeah, I can understand that, man. It's a shame you're not here, man. You could fix my laptop. Laptop's working. It needs a new keyboard or it needs it cleaned out. So the everything is wonky, man. It's so sensitive. Like if I'm watching a video and I pick up the laptop and like move it over 3 feet and set it down, it will skip. It'll just start skipping to like 3, 4, 5 videos that are in the queue next to play. And then it screws up my damn YouTube algorithm because they think I'm watching stuff that I'm not. Like sometimes I'll just walk away and I'll come back. And especially Dangle and Hockey Guy. Now I watch them, but like I came over the other day and I was like on my 4th Dangle video in a row, and it had just been auto playing on its own. And when I left the damn laptop, there was nothing. It was actually on one of my videos. So even my laptop prefers to watch somebody else. That's kind of sad. All right, let's see. Yeah, Mike, you're not just only hockey. All right, well that's good. That helps out your Sundays, man. That helps out your Sundays. Nothing worse. I had a job working at a pizza restaurant when the Dolphins played the last game in the Orange Bowl, the AFC Championship game that they lost to Patriots. And I had to work and I had to watch us lose on the TV, in between making subs and shit like that. So Anthony, you can't believe Zito was able to pull off a trade for condition. Yeah, no, we absolutely scored. I mean, look, Levy, either way you say it, he's going to be good. he's going to be good. You know what I mean? There's no doubt there. But when, right? We have not given up to get out of any of these deals and to get any of these players. We haven't given up anything that's going to or would have had an effect or been part of a cup run anytime in the next 3 or 4 years, which that's basically right now our window, right, is 4 years. You look at the age of the guys. If they haven't won in the next 3-4 years, they're probably not going to do it. Now, we'll get a second burst because we have Knight and he's so young. So even when Barkov and Huberdeau are kind of passing on their prime, they start to get to 31, 32. We're still going to have a hell of a good team because of Knight, right? Okay. But we haven't given up anything other than the picks. But the way that Zito has been making trades and everything, screw the draft. I mean, look at the guys he's getting for second-round picks. I will take that tactic any day. Over we draft a second rounder, he spends 2 years, 3 years in the AHL. You got to develop him, the whole thing, and then maybe he turns out to be something. I would definitely take the tactic of how about we give somebody 2 twos for an established player that we already know what we're getting all day long. I'll take that. I just, that's just me personally. All right, let's see. You look at Spencer. I've had a few people say with Jonathan Quick especially. I think somebody else had said Ben Bishop. Funny story, Ben Bishop, Anthony. Matthias was here yesterday and today, and he plays. I think it's NHL Legacy Edition. He has a PS3, and he actually had Luongo and Ben Bishop fighting. He would purposefully do it. He would just skate out to the middle of the ice, and then Bishop was meeting him. And unfortunately, Luongo got his ass kicked every time, which was a shame. It was really tough to see Luongo just go down like that. And not only did he go down, but he went down and he was like cowering. He was like hovering, covering his head. That was disappointing to see. Well, Matthias was losing his mind, man. Oh my God, he was having such a great time. He thought it was the best thing. And the funny thing is that when the goalies, when they go to fight and they go to take off their helmet, they take off their mask and they're like real careful. It's not like a regular play where they just take it and they throw the helmet. Both goalies like took off the mask and like real gently set it down on the ground and then stood back up and said, now we're going to fight. Autistica. For $2, you only get 50 characters to say bullshit. Is that what it is? Is that how it works? Gosh, I probably sound pretty stupid that I didn't realize that. But is that how Super Chat works? The more money that somebody gives, the longer the comment that they can make? I didn't know that. That's awesome. Well, I shouldn't say that's awesome. That's interesting. That's the word that I meant to say. So that's a new word. You made a new word though, Autistica. Bullsh. That's like Bob. If Bob was in his puppet and he was asleep, he would say, "Hey, just wake me up. That's bullsh." Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna use that word for Bob. But I'm pretty sure you hate the puppets, right? I forget. Like some people love the puppets. Either they love them or hate them. So if you hate them, I guess I won't do that, or you'll never give me a super chat again. I see. For $1, it doesn't let you say anything. I see. Now we need to see what happens when Autistica spends 3. This poor kid. Who's the toughest goalie I ever seen in terms of play of fighting? Well, playing style, man, I like Tuukka Rask. The dude, he just I like when he gets all pissed off and throws stuff. You know what I mean? Fluffy's down here making noise. Yeah, Tuukka. I would have to go with him. There's not been a whole hell of a lot. I wish Stu was here, because if Stu was here, he would have an answer for you because he watched and was around a lot of hockey in the 70s and the 80s when those guys would definitely drop the gloves a lot more. So it's a shame he's not here. But yeah, for the modern day, it's definitely Tuukka Rask. Hey, buddy, huh? I don't know if you guys can't see him. Well, right there, my hand is on Fluffy. He's right behind me. All right. Oh, Rock and Ray, thanks for coming out, buddy. I appreciate it. I know that sound of my voice was not for you coming out, but for the thing I saw. Kraken paying $3 million for a backup goalie as Grubauer will be the starter. He wants to do for Seattle what Fleury did for the Golden Knights. Yeah. Well, Ray, you know how I feel about my feeling about what happened to Drieger. Now, just there's two sides to the story, and really, Drieger has not come out and said anything. So I just have a hard time believing that with the numbers that Drieger had and the fact that he was a free agent and could go anywhere he wanted, I have a hard time believing that Seattle said, hey, do you want to come be the backup? And he said, sure. Because he's only going to get so many chances at bigger money. And at the very least, I feel like he would have thought that this contract was an opportunity for him to be the starter, show what he can do, and then make a bigger contract. Now, if he went into it knowing he was going to be the backup, then fine. But I would just love at some point for it to come out, even if he was just going to say something. I would love to know if he knew he was going to be the backup, because I just have such a difficult time believing that he could have gone anywhere he wanted and chose to be the backup goaltender on an expansion team. Unless I hear it from him himself, I don't think anybody could convince me that that's what he knowingly agreed to and desired. All right. Let's see. Lundqvist and Hasek. Yeah, those are good names. Those are good names, man. Yeah, Hasek was crazy. Lundqvist pretty much the same way. Yeah, those are two good names, man. I wouldn't want to fight either one of those guys, right? Yeah, Mike, Billy Smith. That was the name that I was thinking about that Stu would have stories about. He used to be a stick boy for the Islanders, and he knows all those guys. So you never know. You never know if we end up with any other former players on the show, right? Let's see. You wish YouTube would let you change your name to Auto, huh? You mean, well, people change their name all the time. Is it not letting you? I know that we have somebody that comes on Stepping on My Nuts is his last one. What was he before Stepping on My Nuts? I forget, but he always comes up with a new name, which is a pretty good play on words. He hasn't been here the last couple of times, but he was in the Ask Jaws the last time. Let's see, Mike. A lot of teams have a 1A, 1B, right? Yeah, no, look. As a tandem, obviously good, right? But, I mean, the money, they practically gave Grubauer double the money. You know what I mean? Drieger got what? 3.5, and Grubauer got 6, right? I think I'm remembering that off the top of my head. And Drieger's probably not going to say anything publicly. You know what I mean? I just really wanted him to get a chance, get an opportunity to be real number one. Personally, I think he's worth a little bit more money than that. And that's what I mean is that what if he signed that deal under the assumption he was going to get an opportunity to prove himself and get more money? Now, no matter what, right? Even if he splits with Grubauer, the knock on him is going to be like, well, he's never been a real starter. So that cuts into his earning potential even more. I don't know why it bothers me so much. It's just it just smells funny to me, because and maybe it happened. Maybe I feel that way it happened because it happened after they did the whole thing with Flory, right? And I already had a bad taste in my mouth. But I say it again. I will remain convinced until I hear otherwise that he thought he was going to be legit number one, or at least have an opportunity. And they didn't sign Grubauer to be his backup. So we'll see how that happens. See how it works out. Anthony, as a Panther fan, what Florida defenseman do I hate playing, either during the regular season or the playoffs? Braden Point. I was so happy. Stu texted me at some point and said, hey, I'm hearing that Point may leave Tampa. And by the time I mentioned that in a video and uploaded the video, he had signed for like 1,000 years for like $1 million a day. Braden Point, that guy, he's a Panther killer. Absolutely. In terms of defensemen, had to think about that one. Marchand, but that's not, everybody hates playing against him, but he's not really defenseman. So I'd have to give that some thought. Artistically. So you want to change your name to Jeff's name on Twitter, or are you trying to tell me that this is Jeff? See, no, you're not Jeff. See, now you're gonna get me in trouble for acting like an idiot because I just said that and I know you're not Jeff. So you want to change your name to Jeff's name, correct? All right, that makes sense. But maybe he already has it. He already has it taken. Maybe. I know I was happy when I went back and re-signed up for Twitter, and my old Jawsaholic handle was actually still available, which is interesting because you would have thought after all the years that I had it and then I let it go, you would have thought somebody would have come behind me and snuck it. But I was happy that it was still available. I'm not letting that go back down. That's for sure. I'm not letting another Twitter account go. I still can't get back up. I think I'm at like 800 followers. So you are a Jeff. Who else could you be? Well, why didn't you say something, man? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell me that? How am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that? All of your comments that you've made on the YouTube channel, half of them I probably took seriously, and now I know. Now I realize it's Jeff, and that just, I think that's like elder abuse. I think you did that on purpose. I'm pretty sure that you did that on purpose. Or are you going to tell me that you have a DM where you told me that was your name, and now that I've got Alzheimer's and I can't remember? Now I feel stupid, and you're going to tell me I should feel stupid. All right, I'm going to work backwards up here. Mike, yeah, that's a long contract. I hope it bites him. He's good now, though. He's a pain in my ass. He beat us twice in that damn power play where Kucherov fakes the shot and then he sends it to Point in the middle. That pisses me off, that guy. I don't know. And I don't like the I don't, and now what? See, I'm distracted. Now you got me. I give up. If you're Jeff, kiss my ass. If you're not, kiss my ass. Oh, man. All right. So, yes, you've proven that an old man with Lyme disease is easily fooled. All right, let's see. Ryan Allen, looking at the schedule, we have the 12 back-to-backs, tied for around 10 at least. Let's see, because I did a schedule review. So let's see. We have the 12 back-to-backs tied for 10th least. That's interesting. I didn't realize it was so few. Following numbers is going to be games for run 9 in October, 13 November. Right. Yeah, the 3 in February. You know, the thing about it, though, is I was only paying attention to the back-to-backs on the road. Because we've got, I think it was like 6. I think it was like 6 times on the road. We've got 3 out of 4. And I think there's a couple of times where we actually, the 3 out of 4 is like, we end the road trip and then the next day we play at home. Let's see, at least I don't need any seasoning for when I get baked. That's a good point. All right, Autistica, you got me. I don't know if you're Jeff or not, but now you're gonna have me. And I know that you probably coordinated with Jeff on Twitter, so that if I go ask him if this is you or not, then he'll probably already have a set answer for me. So that's okay. I just call you Jeff from now on. I have to call you Jeff from now on. All right, guys, let's see. The deadline for arbitration and Reinhardt didn't file. That's good. That's good. Not that I thought he was going to go anywhere, but that shows you, well, that's a good guy. That's a good guy. All right, guys. So that's been an hour. I think I'm going to get ready to cut that. I highly recommend checking out the video that I did earlier about the Evander Kane situation. That pretty much is all I can say about that whole thing. I got personal experience at pretty much every angle of that. And it's just a shame. I heard after I did the video, I heard that he came out with a statement denying that he had gambled on hockey games. It's going to be a long, drawn-out thing, obviously. She did say in her accusation, I believe she used the word probably is betting on those types of games. So I shouldn't have bet on the Panthers. Now I haven't made a sports bet I did a couple of years. What do they call that? DraftKings, and what's the other one? FanDuel or something. I did it for a couple of years. All I did was lose money, $10 here, 20, I think over the course of like 3 weeks, I lost like $20, and then I lost like $10. And I was kind of like, this is not, FanDuel. Yeah. For a couple of years when they first came out, I did it. It changed the way I watched the game. I will, Anthony. I will. It changed the way I watched the game because, I would just be watching a good football game, but I'd be pissed off at who scored the touchdown because it wouldn't be points for me. And after a couple of seasons of that, I was like, this is ruining the experience for me. All right, before I go, can I read the comment from before? Anthony, let's see here. All right. What I'm asking you is about, since I've been a Panther fan for a while, what forward defenseman from the early 2000s or late 90s did I hate playing? Man, I'd really have to think about that. I'd really have to think, because we weren't really we were so bad that now I can say that. Who was the guy? Now, obviously, I will give you an opposite answer. And what I will say is I enjoyed anytime we were playing against Roy Bork early on in the mid-90s, because for whatever reason, we had success against him. But honestly, I'd really have to think about that, man, because the team was we were not doing so well. So it didn't stick out to me. No name sticks out to me in thinking about any player that really was would harm us. Now, obviously, it's fresh in my mind about Point. But I can't think of any names, man, off the top of my head. But I tell you what, Anthony, I will do everything I can to remember this question for the next Ask Jaws video and look up some names and think about that. Anderchuk, yeah, that's a name. I'd have to think about it. Those years are a blur, man, right? Because we were so good and then we got so bad. And those years are a blur for me. And plus I wasn't I was watching and paying attention, but Kyle was born in 99. My daughter was born in 01. And, Kyle's autism was really kind of kicking in about 01. So I wasn't able to pay as close attention to things back then as I do now, because I was dealing with a lot. You know what I mean? But I will do everything I can to remember that question for the hashtag Ask Jaws. If you have Twitter, tag me with that hashtag, and I will get to that in the next one. All right, guys. Ryan Allen, 96 and 93 win probabilities for your tournament. Sweet. Good job, buddy. 425. All right. If you win the 425, next time you're here, I expect a super chat, though, bro. All right. I'm giving you the good juju right now. All right. 5% good juju charge right here. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody coming out. Got a lot of good content coming up this week. I'm going to have that Bob video up. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that, bro. Going to have a Bob video coming up, looking at the differences between then and now. A couple of fan interviews coming up with that. And with that, I will say, appreciate it. Thanks, Hoppy's Night. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. And hopefully the Panthers maybe make some news. All right? Yep. You have a good weekend, guys. Check you later.